Welcome to Aerotech.
In the 2025 landscape, the world is increasingly concerned about geopolitical tensions and their potential to escalate into catastrophic global conflicts. The lingering threat of a nuclear war remains one of the most alarming scenarios facing humanity today. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia, in particular, continues to raise fears that if the war spreads further and long-range missiles are deployed, the conflict could turn nuclear. The notion of mutually assured destruction, MAD, has historically prevented full-scale nuclear war, but as tensions rise, the risk grows. Russia's commitment to deploying nuclear weapons in space and using them in a conflict with Ukraine makes the situation all the more concerning. In the event of such an attack, the consequences could be devastating, with major cities like New York potentially vaporized and millions affected by the long-term impact of radiation exposure. The specter of nuclear winter also looms large. Though the possibility of a global nuclear war is unlikely, the threat is real, and many nations are focused on preventing this outcome. The possibility of a third world war taking shape is a grim reality that many experts are keeping an eye on. The dynamics of modern warfare, where nations provide support to one another and conflicts snowball quickly, could lead to an all-out global war. The Ukraine-Russia conflict is a key example, as it has already drawn in countries like North Korea and powers such as the United States and the EU. As military allegiances form, the world could be plunged into a war on a scale unseen since World War II. The effects would be far-reaching, not just in terms of military casualties, but in terms of infrastructure, economy, and the stability of global alliances. Warfare, too, has evolved. Drones, long-range missiles, and cyber warfare are becoming pivotal tools. As countries fight with high-tech weaponry, civilians in cities around the world could find themselves in the crosshairs. The threat of a global war also brings with it an unsettling sense of uncertainty, especially for those who may be drafted into service or forced to relocate due to the conflict. While global conflicts are a major concern, the rise of bioengineering has introduced a new, equally terrifying risk: the creation of viruses that could wipe out a significant portion of the global population. The H5N1 strain of the bird flu, for example, is already highly deadly, with a 50% mortality rate. However, scientists have experimented with genetically modifying viruses to make them more contagious and far-reaching. In the event of a lab-created pathogen escaping, we could face a pandemic far worse than COVID-19. While the virus might initially be confined to certain regions or populations, its spread could be explosive, and containment efforts may not be enough. The mass panic and chaos that would follow such an event would mirror the fear and uncertainty experienced during the COVID-19 pandemic, but with far more deadly consequences. As governments scrambled to respond, scientists would be working tirelessly to develop vaccines and treatments, but the scale of the crisis could be overwhelming. Beyond the threats we can control, the possibility of alien life arriving on Earth presents one of the most fascinating yet terrifying scenarios. While many scientists believe that the probability of intelligent extraterrestrial life existing elsewhere in the universe is high, the prospect of such beings visiting Earth raises a host of questions. Would they be friendly, or would they view humanity as a resource to be exploited? Governments would likely respond cautiously, first trying to establish communication and assess the intentions of the aliens. The potential for conflict, however, is high. Advanced alien technology could far outpace human capabilities, and if they are hostile, they could deploy devastating weapons. The arrival of an alien species could result in a global crisis, with nations uniting to either fend off the alien invaders or negotiate their terms. While the likelihood of such an event occurring in 2025 is minimal, the thought of extraterrestrial life visiting Earth raises deep existential questions about humanity's place in the universe. If global conflicts or pandemics don't destroy humanity, nature itself may deliver a blow that humanity cannot control. One such natural threat comes from beneath the ground: the Yellowstone supervolcano. Located in the heart of the United States, Yellowstone sits atop a massive volcanic hotspot. While the last eruption occurred 640,000 years ago, scientists have warned that the possibility of another eruption remains. If Yellowstone were to erupt in 2025, the consequences would be far-reaching. The eruption itself would release an enormous amount of ash and volcanic gases into the atmosphere, triggering a global cooling effect. A volcanic winter would follow, with temperatures plummeting worldwide, disrupting agriculture, and leading to widespread famine. Even those far from the blast zone would feel the effects. While the likelihood of a supervolcano eruption is low, the potential consequences are so severe that it remains a significant concern for global survival. Beyond catastrophic events such as wars or natural disasters, climate change remains one of the most pressing issues facing humanity in 2025. The effects of global warming have already begun to reshape the planet, from rising sea levels and heat waves to wildfires and intense storms. In the coming years, the situation could worsen, with unpredictable weather patterns leading to crop failures and natural resource shortages. Yet, despite these challenges, there is hope. Innovative solutions to combat climate change are emerging, including advancements in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and new technologies designed to capture carbon from the atmosphere. Companies like Brazil Potash are leading the charge by revolutionizing agricultural practices and reducing emissions. Their efforts show that it's possible to tackle climate change while supporting economic growth. However, the race against time is crucial. The next decade will be critical in determining whether humanity can effectively address the climate crisis or if it will continue down a path of environmental destruction. As the world faces an energy crisis, nuclear power has once again come to the forefront as a potential solution. With the demand for electricity soaring, particularly with the rise of AI and its energy needs, nuclear power offers a clean alternative to fossil fuels. Unlike coal or natural gas, nuclear power does not release harmful carbon emissions into the atmosphere. In fact, it has the potential to be one of the cleanest and most efficient energy sources available. By shifting more of the world's energy production to nuclear power, we could drastically reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and make significant strides in combating climate change. However, the development of nuclear power comes with its own set of challenges, particularly with regard to safety and waste disposal. But with continued innovation and advancements in reactor design, nuclear energy could become a cornerstone of the future's clean energy infrastructure. As climate change accelerates, geoengineering has emerged as a possible solution to prevent further environmental catastrophe. Geoengineering involves large-scale interventions in Earth's climate system, such as carbon capture or solar radiation management. These techniques are designed to either remove excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or reflect sunlight away from the planet to cool it. One of the most discussed geoengineering methods is the idea of injecting aerosols into the stratosphere to mimic the cooling effects of a volcanic eruption. While these methods could theoretically lower global temperatures and buy us time to address the root causes of climate change, they also come with significant risks. The potential for unforeseen side effects, such as regional weather disruptions or ecological damage, makes geoengineering a controversial solution. Amid the challenges we face, there is still hope. From technological advancements to the collective will of humanity, there are numerous reasons to be optimistic about the future. As we continue to innovate and collaborate, we are making significant strides in addressing the most pressing issues of our time. Whether through renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, or breakthrough technologies like AI, there is a growing sense that we can solve the problems that threaten our planet. The key is to remain focused on these solutions and push forward with determination. By working together and harnessing the power of innovation, we can create a brighter, more sustainable future for generations to come.